Okay, I've come down with Virat to a spot just north of Perth called Yanchep. It's basically on the outskirts of Perth. It's probably a bortle 4, so we're not expecting anything too fantastic, but it's probably going to be the last shoot of the season for the Milky Way at least. So we thought we might just nip out here and grab an hour of Astro and just see what we can find. There's some nice rocky formations down on the beach itself, and also some interesting textures in the dunes which we might be able to pick up. Unfortunately, I had some user-induced audio issues at this point. What you're seeing here is all that remains of the Alex T. Brown, a 788-ton four-masted wooden schooner which was blown ashore during a gale back in 1917. Could definitely make for an interesting foreground later this evening. Okay guys, we're just biding our time now until it gets dark. It's on dusk, so we've probably got about an hour to go until it's proper darkness. And I'm going to set up the tracker early, just so we're ready to go as soon as it does get dark, because we're going to have so little time to shoot. Want to maximise that. You can probably see all the insects. It's not very pleasant here, I have to say. They're not mosquitoes. They don't seem to be biting, but they're getting into everything. And also because we're right beside the coast, it's really sticky and humid. We've actually had a 37-degree Celsius day today. So it's pleasant, but I've got my jacket on to try and keep the bugs out of my clothes and everything. So yeah, I'm going to set up the tracker, and I'm probably going to just focus on the sections of the Milky Way, the core itself, rather than trying to do a full pano, because the north and south ends of the Milky Way are going to be right embedded in the light pollution of the city and some of the suburbs further north. So I'm going to just be focusing on what's straight out to the west, which is over the ocean. I might do my usual and shoot at 20, 35 and maybe 85. And I may even do some multiple shots so I can stack my tracked shots as well to try and maximise the opportunity of extracting some detail out of the sky. That's it for now. I will get set up so we're ready to go when it's dark. Okay, so I've finished all my track shots, and I'm now picking up a couple of the interesting foregrounds in amongst the rock formations here. What I've got here is it's a nice little sort of a bay or a little cove, I guess you'd call it, with some really cool rock formations. I've got the 35mm on, and I'm just grabbing a little 4-shot portrait mode panorama. I've been using my little Ulanzi RGB lights, and I've actually cross-lit it. So I had one on this side and one on the other side, and had the lights shining across. That way the lights light up some textures on the walls. I also had to focus stack it, so I've focused at 2 points, a close in, just sort of 3 meters in front of me, and one on the wall at the far distance. So I've done that for each of the 4 shots. Settings I was shooting for 60-second exposure, and I had an f5.6 ISO 800. So hopefully with those settings I should get quite clean shots. And yeah, we'll see how these ones came out. Hey guys, hopefully the audio is still working from this distance. Yeah, so I've got another little spot here. I think I'm going to try this with the 20mm lens. So what we've got here is a really interesting rocky outcrop, just broken away from the main part of the cliff face here. So I'm just going to do probably about half a dozen, actually probably won't even be half a dozen, it'll be more like 3 or 4 shots with the 20mm. That should pick up pretty much all of the foreground. ISO 800, 1 minute exposure again. Probably go the f5.6 again and see how that pans out. Okay. It's selfie time. I haven't tried a selfie for a long time. I've got my flash. And I've got my my Yongnuo remote. And here we go. Do a couple with the flash. Bit cliched, I know, but you got to do these things. How's my posing, guys? You think I've missed my calling? I don't think the agencies are going to be knocking at my door anytime soon. Oh, the one thing I didn't do is turn out my light. Okay, I'm going to do that once more with my light off. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, couple with a flash and then we're done. just setting up for probably my last foreground image for the evening. Once again, I've got a nice little lagoon area here and the tide's coming in, which is fantastic. So we've got some water in the foreground now. Before it was all just sand. I'm going to do the same thing again with the cross lighting. I've got one little LED light set up behind me, shooting in that direction, and the LED light that's on the camera at the moment I'm going to move over here. So we've got cross lighting, which should light up the textures of the lagoon, create a nice little scene to blend my Milky Way shot. So I'm going to use the same settings as I did before. I'm going to use the 35mm again. I'm probably going to need to focus stack once more because I'm going to have some quite close foreground elements, plus some of the elements are a little bit further off. Sort of having the foreground in focus as well as the background, and having the camera angle quite low means I get quite an immersive sort of effect with the foreground. So that's what I'm going to try and do. Fingers crossed that turns out okay. Okay. So Virat's managed to avoid getting in the camera on the last couple of shoots that we've been out on, but not this one. I've collared him.
There you go. The last shoot of the year.
We've snuck back to that little wreck on the beach that I shot earlier in the evening and showed you the pictures of. I think we're just going to do, I'm going to use 20mm. What are you using, Virat?
Same lens, there you go, 20mm, yep.
20mm, nice wide angle, one shot, maybe stack. I think we'll just do a low level lighting with it. 20mm
shot on the top,
on the top, and that'll be us done.
There you go, and bye-bye to Milky Way for the year, and then next year we'll see it again.
Yep, so we'll be taking a little bit of a rest, although we might sneak out, get a couple of summer Milky Ways in, maybe some star trails, maybe some Geminids over the Christmas period. We'll see how we go. We'll make it up as we go along. But anyway, this will be the last shot for the night. Okay,
see you guys.
catch you guys.
Enjoy.